right, we're back. Another episode of The Climb. It's a solo podcast. And today I wanted to talk about what I think is a perfect cheat code, habit stacking. Now, if you're a follower of The Climb or anything that I've talked about in the past, you've realized that routine habits and these habits turning into rituals are a big part of my mental health. It's actually proven that about 40% of our actions come from habits. So we typically are our habits. A lot of people have asked, different ways in which I kind of form these habits and go about my new routines and my mental health. The best way I can describe it and have in the past has been through time blocking. But there's more to it. There's more to the science of picking up habits and building upon them. And it all started, my whole entire life, I've been a very scheduled oriented person. Being a part of 3 sports teams at one time, all different seasons, being a part of extracurricular activities outside of sports, I had to run on a schedule. And quite frankly, it helped me operate in a certain way, especially one that was undiagnosed with ADHD at a young age. It felt easy to flow through a pattern of different types of schedule and routine. And habits really came secondhand once routines were set in place. The problem where it lies for a lot of people is when you don't have that forced structure in your life. That's what happened every time I got out of the hospital when I was dealing with different types of depressive states. I was not going to work. I didn't have school, or I didn't have any structure in my life. So I had to form new structure. In doing that, I went to time blocking and I started to make new structure to kind of balance around. And I think that's really important for people to realize. But the certain key to time blocking is structuring it around a routine that could form into healthy habits. It's pretty plain and simple how healthy routines and habits can form good mental health, like getting adequate sleep, exercise, eating right. But a lot of the time we compromise those habits because we have such busy lives. And I think it's important for everyone to try to fit that into their routine so they can form a healthy habit and make it something that's a part of their lives no matter what. Going through my journey, I realized it was really important not only to keep structure, but to make sure that my structure was full of healthy habits. There's no surprise that if I'm not getting enough sleep as someone with bipolar disorder type 1, that I could really go and slip into a manic episode. And really what helps me sleep is typically when I'm exercising and I'm eating right and I'm feeling better as a person. So it all kind of thrives together. But a lot of that really didn't happen by mistake. I stopped playing, collegiate football at age 21 and didn't have much structure other than a softball league in the neighborhood playing once a week for about 3 months. And with that, comes a lot of responsibility to make sure that you're keeping up with yourself and having these habits continue into your adult life. So one thing that really helped me and I emphasized going into life had been habit stacking. I knew that I like to get up early and get things done. And for me, working out in the morning was so important. And so I knew if I had set my alarm and I got up at a certain time, that I had to be productive with the day, and it was that much easier to go work out. The days that I slept in only hours before having to get ready or minutes before having to be out the door were always my worst days. And as elementary as it sounds, that is the basis of a habit stack. I knew I had to get up early. It was a routine that I was already doing, getting up early. Well, if I'm up early, then I should be working out. And that's been the basis of my entire recovery, is staying structured within this routine, but adding to it, adding these small, really attainable habits that can build on top of each other. And once they build on top of each other, they can stand alone in itself and then become what feels like a ritual. Like I can't have a day where I'm not active. And that's exactly what happened. After my last hospitalization and a few other times, I realized how important getting moving was for me and how clouded my mind felt when I didn't get moving. So getting up early and getting moving was just something that was second nature. If anything, it made me feel like a fish out of the water if I wasn't doing it. It's funny, just a couple of days ago, I was with a few friends and we were talking about early morning routines and structure and things of that nature. And I was asked, hey, could you even sleep in if you tried? And I truly can't. My whole body is really meant to wake up and get moving and get productive. So I have never slept into, 10:30, 11 o'clock in years. And if I did, I would feel, worse off for it because I'm off, my basis there. And I think it's really important for everyone to understand that one action can really be the catalyst for so many different things. And when we come to talk about habit stacking, it does much more than just adding habits to your repertoire. It can really help you feel that achievement and actually neurologically help you get rid of some of this clutter that we have in these synapses and these connections in our brain and feel confident in what we are doing. And just case in point, I'm just building off of my pure habit of, hey, I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to get active. Just recently, I went back to, a gym, a structure where I knew I could go lift weights. They had a sauna and everything like that. I haven't lifted weights other than the 40-pound dumbbells in my gym for the past 2.5 years at this point. And I was really out of shape at the time. And this was close to the beginning of this year, feeling a little bit, down in my own rights and had to make some changes in life that I've talked about. But I didn't go into that gym trying to light the world on fire. I just wanted to go. I wanted to show up. I wanted to be there and I wanted to just build upon it. And after weeks, I kind of added more to my, my workout routine. And then I was, understanding, okay, I'm feeling a little bit back to my normal self. Let me add in some, extra curricular cardio at the end of each workout. And all right, let me make sure that I'm getting these sauna sessions in because that really helps me as well. And so these started to really build up upon each other because it was easy. A lot of these things were second nature to me. Once I were to start doing something and I just add a small habit behind it, it made it so much easier to obtain and sustain that habit. And to the point where I am today, I have focused so hard on making my morning such an unbelievably productive space, not only to just get stuff done that needs to be done inside, outside of work, inside of Team Garbo, everything I'm doing with the climb, all my writing, but because it makes me feel like I have so much clarity going into the day. And so when you look at my calendar now, you can see that I actively time block certain, times of the day for exercise or walking rover. But a lot of the time, until that is built into a daily routine and ritual, I am actually blocking off time right after that to do a certain thing. For instance, a lot of the time when I was, starting to be remote again this past year, I knew that I had to get outside, I had to walk more, had to get away from the computer. And I would time block 5 to 6 every single day to walk rover, but also to do a meditation. I didn't need the hour to do that 30-minute walk and a 10-minute meditation, but I wanted to make sure that that hour was reserved so that no matter what, however long it took me to get to my walk with Rover, I would get to it. But immediately after I wipe his paws, I was sitting down for 5 to 10 minutes and doing a meditation. And it's that simple. Habit stacking is just building on top of habits you already have, even if it's like, hey, I'm waiting for coffee, let me do a couple push-ups. Hey, I'm brushing my teeth. After I brush my teeth, let me do a 2-minute breathing exercise. And it's gotten to the point where I am so fine-tuned into this routine that I've had and these foundational, habits that I'm building upon them to build even more stronger habits. So my morning has really built into this monster-like routine, all because of the basis of the habit of getting up and getting, active. To the point where a typical weekday or Sunday, where I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and the weekends it's a little bit later. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing a little bit of yoga and stretching before my exercising for 45 minutes and resistant training, doing a Tabata at the end of my workout, and then heading to the incline treadmill where I'm doing 10 minutes on incline. But as I'm doing that, I'm working through these little brain games that I have on my phone while I do the incline rather than looking at social media. Then I'll jump into the sauna for 10 minutes. While I'm in the sauna, I'll do actually a meditation. And, from there, I'll take a shower. And then I'll go outside or go to this different lounge area that the gym has that I go to. And I'll write for an hour. After that, I'll drive home and I'll actually do an out loud journal or prayer just to kind of flush out any other thoughts that I have. And then I arrive home at 7:45, get ready for my day at work. So it sounds like quite a bit of mouthful of all the different habits and structures I had, but you all heard me say it minutes ago that all it started with was me just getting up and getting to the gym. Clearly, I like to build habits that are structured around my mental health and my physical health. I think everyone should. I think the more you do that, fundamentally, the better you could be in your life as a family member, a parent, brother, son, a loved one. But you could also just in generally feel so clear in yourself that you're ready to kind of take on whatever life has to throw at you. There are days where I take rest days and I wake up a little bit later. Maybe I go for a run outside, or maybe I hit a cardio class at the gym at a later time. But the most productive days I have is when I'm knocking out all those habits one after the other. And to think if I had to go back and I had a time machine and I had to go back to, December 20th, right before the holidays, and tell AJ, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this, 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 and that. I would kind of think that person would be crazy. But it's really simple, the power of habit stacking and how you can piggyback on top of what you're already doing routinely. Think about that, everyone. Think about the power of your own time and what you're already doing and how you can really benefit from the time that you're already owning. What is something extra that you can do? I already mentioned the small habit stacking of when you're brushing your teeth afterwards doing a quick meditation. But a lot of us drive. A lot of us are walking, with our pets, and maybe we're listening to, music. Well, maybe instead of music, listen to an informative podcast or an audio book. Or maybe if you are walking, take the headphones out and do a nature walk. Just be present. There's all these small different things that someone can do, but initiating the change always seems like the hardest thing for everyone. 70% of Americans start the year with a goal in mind, a New Year's goal, New Year's resolution, but only a third take action. Let me repeat that. Only a third take action, not achieve their goal, but take action. And that's all really you can do is ask yourself to try. And habit stacking is the biggest cheat code I can give anyone. So I know James Clear wrote a lot about it. That's where I learned it from. I believe he learned it from, L.S. Scott, I believe, in a book, and it came out in 2017. But I challenge everyone to just try to habit stack. Don't try to habit stack multiple things at once. Try to do one thing at a time and feel confident about it. But if you find yourself overwhelmed, just go back to your basic routines that make you you and slowly start from there and realize that those habits and routines that you already have are a great foundation. Everyone give it a try. I hope that helps, kind of giving a little bit of insight, but it's no surprise that I am my best self when I am having my healthy habits kind of show out for me. Thanks everyone for joining yet again. Appreciate all your love and support. And here's to everyone's good habits.